Anybody remember fucking Flavorland? Remember Flavorland? I was just tiny. I barely remember it. It must have been about 3 or 4. Flavorland. Before there was Friendlies, there was Flavorland. I think that they were by the same distributors and shit. Remember the Flavorland on Altamont Avenue? Or Michigan Ave, or wherever the fuck it was? The Flavorland there. It turned into a Friendlies. Oh, I just remembered. I used to go over there with Renee and her grandmother to get Renee's little chicken sandwiches she liked. Little Hawaiian chicken sandwiches with pineapple. Sweet girl. Fucking Friendlies. Oh my god, Renee's grandmother was still alive back when it was Friendlies. Like 25 years ago. We used to get her senior discount. It was so cute. But Flavorland. Do you remember Flavorland? Mary Beth Tinning used to work there. Remember Mary Beth Tinning? She was like the original Andrea Yates. Munchausen by proxy. She kept killing kids and getting away with it. She must have killed like 6 kids. And people kept, I don't know what was going on with the legal system, but she kept getting away with it. Every year she'd give birth to a new kid. And then the kid would come down with some sickness and die. And everybody felt bad for her. Like the first 3 or 4 times. She was on the news collecting all kinds of Munchausen sympathy. You know? Oh my God, my kids keep dying. And she was killing them. Yeah, that was the city I grew up in. Mary Beth fucking Tinning. She used to work at the Flavorland. She worked at the one right on, I think it's still there, on Altamont Avenue. Remember Hoffman's Playland? Taking the kid over to Hoffman's Playland. Whoopee. I'm taking Mila about around the world. I want to go to Hoffman's Playland. You don't want to go to Hoffman's? I don't want to go either. Big whoop. They got a fucking scrambler and a tiny Ferris wheel. She's getting too big for that. We're taking her to the big girls park. That's right. I want to do her like Mary Beth Tinning. Asphyxiate. Remember when the band, there used to be, they probably still do it, in Schenectady? I remember one year seeing the Figs outside Center City. And it was just like the greatest thing I ever seen. The Figs were standing there before they were signed. You know, they were an alternative band. They were on MTV a lot. But this is like back when they were doing like the 8th grade Catholic schools, girls material. I remember seeing them as a 3-piece. That's when I knew I wanted to be a 3-piece. Seeing them and they were doing Jimi Hendrix Fire. I was waiting for the bus. I'm like, I want to do that. I want to fucking do that. Because they were good. They were real good. The fucking Figs. Taking Mule about to Flavorland. Taking Mule about to Wonderland. I remember Valentine's though. Now that I remember it, Valentine's was another weird place. Valentine's was this big building. It was a nice... Jeez, we had quite a history at Valentine's now that I think about it. Wasn't that Howie's place? I'm trying to remember who owned that. The deal with Valentine's was it was fucking weird. They had a really super nice bar and they let me used to... I wasn't even 21 yet. When I first started playing there, I just remembered that. I was in high school. And I was on Paint Chip Records. And I was happier than a motherfucker. I was like, yeah, I'm on Paint Chip Records. But we got dropped by Paint Chip because I couldn't come up with the initial scratch. But it was nice. We got to play all the Paint Chip. You know, I got dropped by a lot of record labels for lack of funds. You have to come up with your own money to start out, you know. But that's how we got in with Valentine's, was through Paint Chip Records. And it was a weird place because you had an upstairs and a downstairs, big building. Downstairs was real nice. And when I got there, the downstairs was for the loser pub rock bands that played covers. And we'd all hang around in the downstairs. I'd be getting drinks. I remember this. I used to play shows and I used to roll joints on these colored rolling papers and walk around Washington Park waiting for the show to begin. Oh, geez, I just remember all this. Then I'd come in, I'd sit down, and I didn't even know what. They used to ask me, what do you have? And I didn't even know what beer was. I'd be like, what is there? And Tim's like, just tell him you have something on tap. I'd be like, I'll have something on tap. And they'd pour me a beer. Then there'd be time to go upstairs to play. That's where the good bands were. You'd file up these long stairs, these bright hallway with long, wide stairs. And you'd go all the way up, and there was a mammoth stage. Must have been 6 feet off the ground, 40 feet wide, it was huge. And I hated going upstairs because every now and again, there'd be like some kind of earth loop in the PA or through the outlets. And so every time you go to touch your lips to the microphone, you get this intense shock. I remember doing 45 minutes up there with numb lips and just being like, I wish somebody would fucking fix this. But it was loud and it was good. And they used to move the stage around, didn't they? Sometimes, yeah, when we played upstairs, the stage sometimes would be against the back wall. Then sometimes they'd move it sideways. Fucking weird. And we did one show there as the Three Amigos because we didn't need a name. They called us at the last minute. And then it got to a point where the cool bands started playing downstairs because they could probably sell out more. Then we did a bunch of shows downstairs as the years went by. My last memory of that place was being up there with Rich. And there was somebody else. I can't for the life of me remember who the fuck was with us. So weird. Maybe Ted? Yeah, it was Ted. Ted was taping him. And we were up there and we were watching Bobby Steele and in the Undead with Joey Image again. And we didn't know if the show was going to go on because there was like 7 foot of snow outside. And my girlfriend was in the hospital for asthma. I remember feeling bad. I'm like, I should be at the hospital with her. But she was at the hospital so fucking much that, And shut the fuck up! This dickhead chanting, can't. Fuck you! Shut up! Jesus. Can't talk about my shit. It's my life. Fuck you. Yeah. Shut the fuck up! What was I saying? Yeah, Valentine's was cool. I just wish I would have had much better time if they fixed that PA. But I used to drag Kevin Little out there too. I think Kevin Little was, for a lot of the time, playing bass. And he was 15. I used to feel bad for him. I'd drag him out. He'd get home at 4:30 in the morning. We'd meet up in the alleyways in Schenectady the next morning with a bowl. And he'd be like, yo, bro, I cannot go to school. I'm like, I know, dude. I'm going to be like fucking 20 years old. I got to graduate. And we used to do that. We'd meet up the next morning and talk about the show. And it was a good experience for him. Took him over to Bogies. Took him to Winners. Yeah, somebody brought it up too. I remember doing I got chronic disorder of their shows through Ron. And Ron was happy about that because his band was getting good. It was before they had Joel, so I don't remember who the fuck was playing guitar. It might have been Ron. Yeah, that was one of my last memories over there. I remember Valentine's, though. You see what I'm saying? You can't even fucking... This fucking hidden neighbor asshole. Yeah. Fuck you! Forget my fucking point. Yeah, but Valentine's, there was a lot of music there. I remember my drummer just got back from Potsdam Polytechnic Institute. We were just young boys. But it was nice to be signed to a record label at 19 years old. You know, you get top treatment, top shows, that kind of thing. Fuck it. Fuck the story. The neighbor asshole wants it quiet. Fuck the Valentine's story. Fucking piece of shit.